Have we hit the 10-minute mark?
We're at 18 minutes. A lot of this needs to be cut out, but still, we got 18 minutes.
Hey, nothing but entertainment here.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Down Roll. You ask, Adam. We deliver.
People are watching.
Who? Really?
Yep.
No.
We've got a staunch 3 to 4 viewers that watch
sometimes
the videos.
Up to 5.
Yeah.
So for those of you, it's like a little club that you're in.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's like
that's.
Or
like a group.
A little secret club.
Like a D&D group.
It's about the same amount of people.
Yeah, I was about to say. The sweet spot for a D&D group is right around 5
Except there's
6.
2 idiots that do all the talking and nobody else gets to play. So it's like a shitty D&D group.
Yeah, there you go. Fair enough. Okay, I'm sorry.
What are we talking about?
Will.
Oh, yeah, and I'm Adam. I always forget to introduce us because if you're watching this, you can see our names below us. If you're listening to us on podcast, probably not on iTunes yet. But if you are, you don't know who's who. And you know what? Shame on you for not doing
the intellectual sounding one is definitely me.
Yeah. Is that what
that's
it is?
Will. Yeah,
that's the word we use for you.
Intellectual. Yeah, far from it. Even when I play, like when we did the murder mystery, playing the super scientific nerd, it didn't come off.
The nerd is your go-to.
It's so good though.
Yeah.
I do a great nerd voice.
You do, but it's almost getting played out.
Well, I can't do it anymore because he's part of the.
He's canon in the Marvel game, which you can see here on Wicked Studios at sometime in the morning, usually around 10 a.m. on Saturdays. It may go later, but
he keeps talking about it. But
I know, but I've been busy. I've had things to do.
That's true. You have very much.
I can't just sit around with you people.
Oh, and he wonders why nobody fucking watches us. There it is.
You're doing is sucking up my valuable time. Anyway, what are we talking about today? We're talking about how important is setting to the game. And by the game, we're talking about your role-playing game, your tabletop role-playing game. Maybe it's Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe it's not.
Nope.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Because you're not here to talk to us. You can put it in chat. All right, so how important is setting to the game? Does your game need to have a setting?
I would say
God damn it, why can't you just answer a sentence with a strong declarative sentence?
All right, take 2. Do it again.
Does
put a little something into it?
Does your game need to have a setting?
Yes. Without a setting, it has no anchor in which the characters to play off of.
Why couldn't you just say that the first time?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't like.
Oh shit! I did it.
There it goes.
Oh, that's all.
I don't really want to have an opinion because then people.
Well, I mean, how could you not? I mean, really? I mean, seriously, what?
Right. That's why.
How could you not have a setting? You got to have a setting. Well, I was trying to think of a diplomatic way of going.
I know you're so diplomatic. People like controversy.
Do they?
Right.
Oh, I fucked that up on the last down roll.
That's why I know you did. That's why I name dropped Adam Coble so many times.
Oh, you got to beef that out.
We'll see. We'll see if I do.
Yeah, leave that one in. Okay, go ahead.
So does your game need to have a setting? Why? Why does it need to have a setting?
Granted, I was fucking around there, but yeah, I mean, if there's no setting gives everything else in the game bearing. It gives its meaning. It gives its purpose. For example, whenever like you get your group around and you're like, hey, what are we gonna play? You know, what do people start doing? They start like throwing around the ideas of games, and the games are all based off of a genre or a setting. Like, hey, let's do a space. Let's do some Star Wars. You know what? I got a real hunker in for doing some.
That? Is that all you really need? Is just we're going to do this in space?
Well, not really.
Because this is a tabletop role-playing game we're talking.
It would be extremely hard to do that without a defined setting. It's really hard, period, to play role-playing without a defined setting, unless you were role playing as the old cartoon from Dragon Magazines stated. Was it Doctors and Lawyers or something like that? Unless you were playing the real world. God, you know what I mean?
So that's depressing.
It does, doesn't it? Who the fuck wants to do that?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, because think about it. If that's the only thing that you could play off the cuff, everybody who sat down at the table could play off the cuff and have some sort of understanding of what the parameters of what you were playing were doing. Now, there's some people that would have more of an idea. Like I would have no idea how to play a race car driver, you know?
Haven't you ever watched the Tom Cruise movie Days of Thunder?
Oh, fuck you. No. Never.
It's essentially Top Gun, but with cars. I think it's better of the two.
Oh, of course you do. Because your taste in movies is so bad.
It's bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, obviously.
But anyway, I think it's easier. It's much. Well, I'm going to rephrase it. It's much more difficult to come up with a character and really roleplay that character if the setting is very generic. Yes.
Because like I said, the setting anchors the player and anchors the character. Like, for example, when people, I'll use the example again because it's really hot right now because of the Mandalorian, but Star Wars. If you say, hey, we're going to play Star Wars, people automatically start thinking about what they're going to play based off the material that's already been presented.
But even so, I'm going to take it a step further because I'm always 2 steps ahead of you.
Is that what it is?
And it's one thing to just say, let's play Star Wars, and then I'm going to come up with a character, or let's play Star Wars, but the setting is going to be on Hoth or Dagobah or some other Tatooine.
Exactly.
I'm running out of worlds that I know. But
Bespin.
Bespin, is that the one with Lando? Is that Lando's world?
Yes.
All right, that's a cool one.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so like if you what?
Coruscant.
Shut up now. Now it's
okay. It's Star Wars Planet.
Now you're just
showing off. Oh, is that what? I'm sorry.
Now you're interrupting the flow of the show, and that's not cool.
Oh, I get to do it for a change. I'm sorry. You were saying. Go ahead. That was weird to me.
God, now I know what it's like talking to me.
Yes. Well, not really. You gotta take that down, turn that up to 11.
Yet, yeah. So, the more detailed the setting, I think the more involved the players and the DM are going to be in the game.
From the outset, you are 100% correct on that because you don't have to figure things out as you go. A lot of times in sandbox stuff, for example, you can say, here's a more of a generic version of we're going to play D&D. It's going to be a fantasy setting. I'm going to put you guys in this town called Blix. And it's a poor town. Most of you grew up mud farmers, and we're going to go from there. Okay, that's enough to get it started, but everybody knows it's a fantasy D&D world. You know what I mean? But if there's nothing else that's planned, that's where a lot of extra work comes in, and that's where people are going to start going through, and you have to devise a bunch of this stuff.
Right. It's hard to play a sandbox when no one knows anything about the world that they're in.
Well, it just takes time. Part of the play is the creation, then, is what happens with that.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's easier because I like to go with what's easy, right? I don't like to put effort in. So if I use like a if I use a Forgotten Realms, because that's the big one that D&D uses right now.
Yes.
I would think a lot of D&D players are at least somewhat familiar with the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
So if I just stick a bunch of player characters in anywhere on the Sword Coast, they could probably come up with things to do in a completely open sandbox game.
Yes.
Very quickly.
And we touched on that, actually, when we were talking about pre-gen versus homebrew.
We did, because I don't remember anything about that one.
Trust me.
I'll have to go back and listen to it on podcast or watch it on YouTube.
There you go. But, yeah, that's one of the things that is the major pull of pre-gen worlds and stuff is the it makes the job easier of the game master, the dungeon master. He's got to, he doesn't have to really come up with a lot of this stuff. He just has to come up with how to present it.
Who should pick the setting? Should the DM just do it, or just say, hey, this is what we're playing?
The only time that the DM should just blindly pick a setting is if he's got a bunch of Onker sitting around the table. But I'll guarantee you, all those Onkers, they care.
So now we play on Tuesday nights here on Wicked Studios LLC, our Greyhawk Adventures game. We don't have any control over the setting.
Nope. Yeah, you do. You got control over the setting. There's plenty of your actions dictate the setting.
No.
But as far as picking the setting,
right? So you're basically saying that people should do it together, but you have taken it upon yourself to make it a dictatorship in our game.
I love how he does this. That's because
where are my rights? Where are the rights of those of my comrades?
That's because I came up with hey, I'm going to run a Greyhawk campaign. Anybody want to play? Ooh.
And you just found people that were desperate to play.
And that, when I was running the auditions, I'm like, hey, it's going to be a Greyhawk campaign. It's kind of like a guy going and enlisting in the army. And he's like, this ain't the Marines? What?
So can you change the setting to better fit your play?
Yes.
I think why not? It's a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no... Who's going to stop you? The D&D police?
Yeah, no. And that's the thing. It's like that should go into consideration when you're picking what you're playing. But that doesn't mean that you can't take something that everybody likes to an extent and then alter it. You should definitely do that. And if whatever you're choosing doesn't have the aspects that you're looking, well, first I'd have to ask, why the fuck did you pick that? But the second would be, make it happen. Make it so, as they say. I mean, if you wanted to play barbarians in Star Trek, sure, why not? I mean, it can be done.
So what's the best setting for D&D?
Did I actually write that question?
It's the only, you ran out of steam here, yeah.
Oh, did I already blow through all the questions?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Hey, I'm glad everybody's tuning into this one. Best setting, well, there's, you answer this one. Everybody knows what I'm going to say.
Everyone's going to know what I'm going to say, too. Dragonlance.
Okay, so what's your second one? Wait. I got it.
I'd probably say Forgotten Realms because I know more about it. Like, I don't know that much about Greyhawk except for the areas that I've been in.
All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to alter the question on the fly, like we were talking about, and altering your setting. So if you couldn't play Dragonlance.
Right,
and
I can't.
And you
nobody plays it. Nobody else likes it.
You can find people. They're out there. They're just few and in between and hidden under the bushes. But if you can't play Dragonlance and if you can't play Forgotten Realms where you're comfortable, what are the next two that you would like to try?
Well, I play Greyhawk next because at least I know something about that now. And I don't really know. And I bought an Eberron book, so I guess.
So to you, for you to want to play in a system, you have to know about it first?
I need to. No? Well, okay. I take that back. Not to necessarily want to play in the system, but in order to play in the system, I need to know something about the setting.
Fair enough.
So now if you're playing a game, and not DMing, but playing.
Playing. Okay, gotcha. I do.
Does it matter to you what setting it's in? I'm talking Dungeons. Yes. Let's just say Dungeons and Dragons.
Very much so. There are settings that I definitely.
So what wouldn't you play? What do you think is absolute trash? We need to make this episode spice it up a little bit.
A little spice it up.
Controversial.
A D&D.
What's garbage?
I do not like Planescape in the least.
Oh, so you could vomit in a bag, shake it up, and dump it out onto the table, and it would be better than Planescape. That's what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing.
No, but okay.
God, we're making this controversial.
Okay, I hate Planescape for no real reason.
Why do you hate Planescape?
Now, I hate Planescape because you know me, I'm a lower end kind of fantasy guy. I don't prefer top end, and Planescape is gone beyond standard fantasy trope.
Can I tell you? Can I? Because I don't care about this anymore. Can I? Let's talk about something else.
And there was no Dana Plato who would turn out to be a orange jumpsuit goddess. Come on now.
What do we have to talk about? Why do we talk about this? This is where the controversy comes in. There's no
way this episode's ever getting patched together.
What is with you and female prison inmates?
What is there not to be? I mean, no. I play it up now. It's just because I like my women wild, and a lot of them tend to go to prison when they're wild. It's just the way it is.
So what are your favorite felonies?
Favorite felonies? Improperly. No. I don't have a favorite felon.
All right, well, we'll come back to this.
There you go.
So, how do you choose the right setting for you? Because we're still talking about this, I think.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'll try and duct tape something out of this. The setting thing, it goes together with this. The setting, since the setting is so crucial to everyone having buy-in, and since the setting is so crucial for everybody being able to develop and come up with characters that they would like to play, take for example the less there is available, the less people might enjoy it if they're not as creative to be able to come up with that stuff on their own. You can't participate. You're not a good participator. You're ruining the question.
I don't know what your question is.
We're starting at first level in this new campaign,
right?
And so what are you gonna play?
I don't know.
But you know that there's a lot of options, right? Right. So it's immediately when
the world is my oyster,
right? And immediately when it's like, hey, we're starting a new D&D campaign next week, you're automatically it's fire, and you're starting to think about what you're going to play, and you're automatically going towards the things that you know that are already there and already exist.
Right.
Right. Whereas, we'll say OD&D. Hey, we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons. What are you going to play? Let's see. There's a fighting man, a wizard, and that's it. And then, or you can play an elf, or you can play a dwarf, and that was it. Those are the four things in the original start off. So those are the four things that you can play. Not a lot of wiggle room. So to make your characters unique or whatnot, you had to bring the life to it yourself, or the variations, or any of this different stuff. So choosing something that has something that people can go and draw off of to play to make their lives easier is more important for people who don't want to have to be bothered dealing with that stuff. If somebody wants something that's already made up, this way they can, go in, aka Forgotten Realms, has all your traditional fantasy tropes to just go ahead and start away with. So your setting then becomes hugely important as far as your genre and what you can play and all that. Did I lose you?
Yeah, you lost me early on. So, how many women have you dated have gone to jail?
How many makes a pattern?
I mean, I don't know. Are we talking like a few or a baker's dozen? What do we?
No, just two. Yeah, that's all.
Anyway, guys, for Will.DM, I'm Adam.
Do you honestly think we can patch something out of that?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
This has been
so
the
Friday,
worst episode of the Down Roll.
We're getting together early again to record a new one. Okay, that was a weak topic. I'll take the hit.
So
that was a weak topic. Sound good?
Tell us in the chat why you're still here.
You kidding me? They're not.
What made you stick through this?
I'm pretty sure we can come back a year later and that chat's still going to be empty.
Like and subscribe to other things besides this.
This too,
Bye.
Bye.